Every small town in America has two things in common: an ice cream shop that closes too early, and people who refuse to throw broken things away. Evergreen, Pennsylvania was one of those places. Part forest, part nostalgia, part, why is the Wi-Fi so bad here? Kind of town. Meet the Parkers, your average American family. 2 kids, a dog that's somehow allergic to grass, and a mom who's been 5 minutes late since 2013. Eli, Ava, bus leaves in 6 minutes, and no, 6 fortnight minutes doesn't count. Eli 12, sarcastic genius type, relax, mom, Einstein said time is relative. Ava 9, dramatic flair, then I'm relatively late. Some families build memories. The Parkers build chaos, usually with peanut butter. Later that morning, after the school drop-off tornado subsides, Maggie's husband Tom Parker, 40, steps into his garage workshop, his quiet place. Tom's an ex-mechanic turned community handyman, the kind of guy everyone calls when their mailbox leans left or their smoke detector starts chirping at 2 a.m. On the workbench sits RoboRex, a beat-up toy robot. Metal peeling, arm missing, chest light flickering weakly. Tom frowns at it. Tom, looks like you've seen some things, buddy. RoboRex wasn't just a toy. He was Evergreen's unofficial mascot, property of the community center's donation shelf, played with by generations of sticky fingers and Cheeto-covered dreamers. That afternoon, Maggie volunteers at the Evergreen Community Center, a hub of mismatched folding chairs, bulletin boards with faded flyers, and a vending machine that's been out of order since Obama's first term. There's a small pile of broken items, mostly toys, board games, and one electric pencil sharpener that seems to growl when plugged in. See, in Evergreen, people didn't throw broken toys away, they fixed them. And somehow, that became a metaphor for everything else. Enter Gary Benson, 57, the town's idea guy. He runs on caffeine and small-town optimism. He's also wearing a baseball cap that says, DIY or die trying. Gary, Maggie, you think Tom can fix RoboRex again? The summer fair's coming up, and the kids love that thing. Maggie, I'll ask him, he's better at fixing things than finishing them, but sure. That night, Tom's in the garage again, fiddling with RoboRex. Tom to himself, loose gear, burned motor, busted ego, you and me both, pal. It's funny how adults pretend to fix things just to avoid thinking about what's broken inside them. Tom didn't just see a toy, he saw a mirror. Cue comedic interruption, Buster the dog trots in, tail wagging, then, classic moment, swallows one of RoboRex's screws. Tom, Buster, that's not a snack, that's a critical component. Cut to the next morning. Tom drops the kids off, goes to Joe's Coffee Tires, a half cafe, half repair shop because, in Evergreen, why not? Locals gather there to drink, argue about football, and secretly enjoy being part of something small and familiar. At the cafe, Tom meets his old buddy Joe Ramirez, 45, owner of the place, always wearing a grease-stained apron and giving unsolicited wisdom. Joe, so, how's life in the Parker Chaos Zone? Tom, managed to fix a lawnmower, break my back, and almost rebuild a robot dog. Joe, progress. You're basically a suburban Iron Man. Back home, Maggie finds the toy halfway fixed. She sighs. Typical Tom project, 80% progress, 20% optimism. Then, irony strikes. Ava comes running in, excitedly showing a TikTok dance to her mom, trips, and lands directly on RoboRex. Crunch. And just like that, RoboRex went from, almost fixed, to, absolutely annihilated. But sometimes things have to really fall apart, before they come together. That evening, word spreads as small-town news does, RoboRex is broken again. By morning, a dozen kids show up at the community center carrying their own broken toys, trucks, dolls, and a few items that are definitely not safe for 120 volts. That's the thing about small towns, bad news travels fast, but hope travels faster. Gary sees the crowd and gets an idea. Let's do a fix-it fair. Everyone brings something broken, and we fix it together. By evening, the town buzzes. Flyers appear, Facebook groups light up, and every retired tinkerer within 10 miles suddenly has purpose. They didn't know it yet, but this wasn't just about toys. It was about people who needed fixing too, a town still limping from layoffs, lost routines, and a pandemic hangover. Meanwhile, Tom sits on his porch, looking at RoboRex's scattered parts on a towel beside him. He picks one up and turns it in his hand like it's a puzzle piece of his own life. Tom, guess it's not about fixing everything. Maybe it's just about trying. Later that night, Maggie joins him. Maggie, you'll fix him. You always do. Tom, maybe it's not me who needs fixing this time. She smiles, nudges him playfully. Well, start with the toy, cheaper than therapy. The thing about broken things, toys, hearts, towns, is that they don't ask for perfection. They just ask you not to give up. As the night deepens, Tom begins working again. The sound of a screwdriver echoes faintly through the quiet street. The porch light flickers once, then steadies, as if even the house is rooting for him. Cut to dawn. A beautiful pink-orange sky stretches over Evergreen. The first birds chirp, the smell of coffee drifts through open windows. RoboRex sits on the workbench, not perfect, but standing. One light blinking, a soft whir, a tiny robotic beep. Sometimes, the most beautiful fixes aren't seamless, they're stitched with patience, laughter, and a little duct tape. And as the morning sun hits Evergreen, the town readies itself for the Fix-It Fair, where the story of RoboRex will bring everyone together again. Fade to light. Morning in Evergreen smelled like coffee, sawdust, and second chances. The Fix-It Fair wasn't just an event anymore. It was a movement, or at least that's what Gary kept yelling through a megaphone he bought on eBay. Americans love two things: DIY projects and watching other people fail at DIY projects. So naturally, the Fix-It Fair drew a crowd. Gary Benson stands on a picnic table holding his megaphone like a general. Gary, all right, Team Evergreen. Let's fix some stuff before the weather or my blood sugar drops. Meanwhile, Tom Parker wheels out his masterpiece, a shiny, semi-functional RoboRex 2.0. Its chest light blinks proudly, one leg still a little wobbly. After 3 nights, 12 cups of coffee, and 1 dog-related screw incident, Tom had done it. The broken toy lived again. Kid number 1 gasps. Whoa. It moves. Kid number 2. Dude, it just blinked at me. That's either awesome or terrifying. Maggie passes by with muffins she baked for the fundraiser, though one tray is conspicuously missing because Gary taste tested half. Maggie Parker had become the fair's unofficial project manager, or as she preferred to call it, chaos containment specialist. Across the lawn, locals tinker with every kind of broken item imaginable. Mrs. Keller sewing a teddy bear's missing ear. Teen techies soldering toy cars. Old man Harris trying to rewire a toaster that may have last seen action in 1989. It wasn't perfect. One booth short-circuited, another burned popcorn like it was an Olympic sport, but it was alive. The town felt alive. Then came the moment. Gary claps for attention. Gary, ladies and gents, boys and girls, slightly confused retirees, it's time for the RoboRex showcase. Crowd cheers. And just like that, the town's miracle turned into a very expensive smoke machine. Kid number 3 shouting, he died a hero. Joe Ramirez from crowd, somebody unplug him before he declares war. Laughter erupts, and somehow, that's exactly what Evergreen needed. People cheer, clap, chant, RoboRex, as Tom bows dramatically. And just like that, the town's miracle turned into a very expensive smoke machine. Kid number 3 shouting, he died a hero. Joe Ramirez from crowd, somebody unplug him before he declares war. Laughter erupts, and somehow, that's exactly what Evergreen needed. People cheer, clap, chant, RoboRex, as Tom bows dramatically. Failure never looked so fun. Because in a town that's seen its share of tough times, laughter fixes more than solder ever could. After the smoke clears, everyone keeps tinkering. Tom reopens RoboRex's back panel while kids watch like it's a live surgery. Eli from the crowd, Dad, you should try turning it off and on again. Tom, thanks, son. Ever thought about going into IT sarcasm? By midday, the Fix-It Fair morphs into a block party. Someone hooks up fairy lights early. Gary somehow ends up in a dunk tank, still holding his clipboard. Gary shouting, I did not approve this, who filled it with cold water? Teen, democracy, sir. Splash. The dunk tank moment, scientifically proven to unite any town within a 5-mile radius. Later that afternoon, as golden light softens, RoboRex 2.0 suddenly jerks, and whirs back to life. The kids scream. Adults pause mid-hot dog. RoboRex beep boop. Hello Evergreen. Crowd gasps, then bursts into cheers. Turns out, Tom's earlier failure was just a loose wire. Sometimes, all you need is a little reconnection, literally and emotionally. Tom lifts RoboRex high. The crowd applauds. Maggie hugs him. The kids swarm the toy. Even Buster barks approvingly, though possibly at the hot dog cart. As night falls, string lights shimmer above. The air hums with music and laughter. People dance awkwardly, the universal language of small-town joy. No celebrities, no big speeches, just neighbors, and the quiet realization that maybe they'd been fixing each other all along. Ava holds RoboRex and whispers, "See, you were broken, but now you're better. Just like Daddy's back after yoga class." Tom, "Almost, kiddo. Almost." Later, Gary gathers everyone for one last moment. "Gary, before we pack up, I just want to say, look around. Not one of you's perfect. Half of you can't even change a battery correctly, but together, you built something good. That's what fixing is, not perfection, persistence." For once, everyone agreed, and not just because Gary held the microphone hostage. The fair winds down, people leave with smiles and repaired memories, and in some cases, slightly reburnt toasters. Tom and Maggie stand under the lights, watching their kids chase each other with glowing balloons. "Maggie, you realize you just became Evergreen's Mr. Fix-It?" Tom, "Nah, just fixed one toy." Maggie, "Yeah, but you also fixed a whole mood." They laugh quietly. Fixing isn't about making something good as new, it's about making it good again. Sometimes, that's enough. Buster trots up with RoboRex's missing screw, the one from days ago, held proudly in his mouth like treasure. Tom chuckles. Guess he's part of the team now. Maggie, "He's unionized, though. Demands treats." Music fades, lights twinkle, and the night settles over Evergreen, quiet, fulfilled, a little imperfect but beautifully alive. In a world obsessed with new things, Evergreen rediscovered the magic of fixing. Of patience. Of people showing up. RoboRex sits on the community center shelf again, not shiny, not flawless, but patched with love, stickers, and stories. A hand-drawn sign taped beneath it reads, "Broken toy fixed, and so are we." Maybe we're all a little like that toy, scratched, dented, sometimes missing a few screws. But if we stick around long enough, if we keep trying, someone, somewhere, helps us work again. That's the real miracle, not perfection, but persistence. Not new, but fixed.
Like and subscribe if you want to be happy and motivate.